It's not about little green men or flying saucers. It's about what are we spending all these millions and possibly billions of dollars on that these idiots tell us don't exist. And then yet we turn right around in a skip and then they tell us they do exist. This is a cover-up. You all know it. We know it. We demand the answers, and dadgummit, we're going to get them.
A call to action answered just days after a demand for disclosure on the steps of the U.S. Capitol. A third batch of UFO files released. The 72 files unsealed Friday are giving you insight into the government's investigation into the extraterrestrial. Let's take a look at a few of those videos. Here's one from an eyewitness. They captured the video with an iPhone 14 Pro Max last July. You see those two bright orbs appearing to move in tandem in the northeast sky? Another from the northeast shows a plasma-like orb. See it? Hovering above a pond. This one also taken from an iPhone. It was also authenticated by the government. On top of this, there's also new audio from a 1962 interview between journalist Walter Cronkite and astronaut Gordon Cooper, where he claims a large number of, quote, exceptionally well-qualified people have seen objects without a logical explanation. Let's hear a very short clip on that.
But I think that there are so many possibilities, so many thousands of possibilities of other planets out somewhere in the universe that would have a livable atmosphere that I would hate to rule out the possibility that maybe there are people or some type of human life on some of these. And if this is the case, then it's not too unfeasible to think that perhaps some of these objects might have been something of this type.
For more, we're joined by Jordan Flowers, Executive Director of the UAP Disclosure Foundation, who was also at the Capitol Hill presser just a few days ago. Thank you so much for coming on tonight, Jordan. Listening to that Gordon Cooper interview and what he said years ago. But let's fast forward. What are your thoughts on this third batch of UFO files? Actual disclosure or just a very slow drip of a mystery that people just want to know more about?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me tonight. I really appreciate it. It has really been a big week for this topic. There was the press conference on Capitol Hill. There was the release of Steven Spielberg's movie recently, and a few other updates. We've had this sort of bi-weekly cadence of releases from the president's initiative around this. I think the key takeaway here is that there really is a solid push, and this is a high priority topic for this administration. They have released, and I think for your audience, it's important to know that they've released items that indicate that not only has the Air Force been taking this issue extremely seriously since 1948, at least, despite their claims, but also that today, the Director of National Intelligence Office and the FBI have multiple investigations going on about this topic. So some of the reports that were issued in the prior release also describe senior intelligence officials seeing similar orbs, like you've shown tonight, similar instances of those happening at our most sensitive military facilities in the United States. So we really need to get a handle quickly on what's happening here.
Now that so many files have been made public, Jordan, is there a specific video or file that's standing out to you that normal human beings should check out?
I think one file that was called to attention by Dave Grush, a 1971 formerly classified intelligence write-up from an Australian, that document outlines sort of the history of this topic. I think that's extremely interesting. So the picture of David Grush there, that's when he described this effort. And with this release, there was a 1948 memo from, I believe it was the Chief of Naval Operations, trying to speak with the Air Force about this topic and indicating that they were having an influx of these sightings. And so this is not... there's real data behind this, and there's presidential will to get this out. And from the picture you're showing there, you can see multiple members of Congress are taking this extremely seriously. Our organization is having a forum on June 25th in Washington, D.C. to discuss this, with multiple senators and multiple sitting members of Congress showing up to speak about the importance of this event across national security, across technology and innovation, and even religion and philosophy. Like, we really want to understand the impact of this across all of these disciplines.
As so many people are making their way through these batches, like you mentioned, this is the third drop, bi-weekly drop or bi-monthly drop. The document reveals that in 2008, the CIA placed its assets in Zimbabwe on high alert. This is so interesting to me. It sounds like something from a movie. After a disc-shaped object with a hollow center was spotted in the sky. It was hovering directly over the African country's airport. The U.S. government going on high alert over a UAP. This seems pretty major, and now it's public. Do you agree? What more should we know about this?
That's right. I mean, I think the key takeaway here is that this is not just a U.S. phenomena. This is a global phenomena. And we also have reason to believe that the Chinese and the Russians may have retrieved their own objects related to this and may have tried to reverse engineer them. And David Grush, again, in his press conference this week, described how the U.S. is aware of surveillance by the Russian and the Chinese of our programs where we have retrieved these objects and tried to figure out how they work. So this is a global phenomenon. And it's really a race to, I think, see who can reverse engineer this first. And it has extreme national security implications that we really need to get our hands around. Washington takes this issue extremely seriously.
I mean, I've said this multiple times, the transparency that we've seen from this administration when it comes to these UAP files we haven't seen before. We'll see what else comes out. Jordan Flowers, thank you for your time.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.